always, Eclectic Stacy in our 5-minute chemistry series. Today we're talking about naming covalent bonds and doing the sentence diagramming naming process. What does that actually mean? Well, if you think of covalent bonds and how to name them, it's important to remember that covalent bonds are like a starter sentence in chemistry. It has really specific formatting, and the formatting depends on which element you're using. Remember, the first element is named with the full name, and we'll use all of those Greek prefixes but mono. If you need a refresher for the Greek prefixes, I will link it below. Element 2 is named with root plus "ide", and we'll use all of the Greek prefixes. So how can I use sentence diagramming in order to name covalent bonds? Well, let me show you. Okay, let's see how sentence diagramming works. Well, the first thing we do is we pull down or we diagram the prefixes. It makes your life easy. So when I'm diagramming these prefixes, I'm looking at the subscript after the element. So here I'm looking at the 2, and I know that 2 will become di. So I can write the prefix di right after it. I know this O3, that 3 is the prefix tri. So I can go ahead and pull this 3 down and write tri. So just like you're diagramming a sentence, you're building the sentence of the covalent compound. Then I go ahead and I name that full first element. You can look at your periodic table if you need to, but AS is arsenic. So I go ahead and write the word arsenic under that di. Remember, for that second element, we are going to go ahead and name it root plus "ide". So the root of O is ox, and if you need to remember your roots, please go ahead and look at the video linked below. And then I go ahead and name it ox, and then add IDE, so it's oxide. Now I look at either of these prefixes. They both look good. I specifically look at the prefix for the first element. If that prefix is a mono, I can go ahead and cross it out. Neither are, so then I can go ahead and use my sentence diagramming and make my covalent compound sentence as diarsenic trioxide. Okay, let's try another compound. Now we're looking at CCl4. And as always, our first step is to go ahead and pull down those prefixes. So we first look at our first element, which is C. Now remember, C is written by itself. It is written one time, so I can go ahead and write that prefix mono. Now I can go ahead and pull down this 4 over here. It's attached to Cl, and remember, 4 is tetra, so I can go ahead and write tetra right under it. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull down my names, or if I need to, my roots. So C is my first element, so I go ahead and pull down that whole first name. So if you're looking at your periodic table, look up the element C. It stands for carbon. So now I have carbon underneath it. Cl is the second element, and please remember the second element goes root plus "ide. So Cl becomes chlor, because we're using our roots, so it becomes chlor. And then we add "ide" as an ending, so it becomes chloride. Now we have the parts of our sentence, and we can check to make sure we can use all parts. Remember, we're primarily looking at this first prefix on this first element, because we do not use the word mono for the first element. That's just the sentence writing rules for a covalent compound. So if you have mono for that first sentence, you can go ahead and cross it out. But be deliberate about it. Don't skip this step until you get much better at sentence writing. Now we can use the rest of our sentence and the rest of our work to write our covalent compound, carbon tetrachloride. Thank you so much for tuning in to 5-Minute Chemistry. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.